title here to kind of give you a little bit of context where I'm coming from. The path of least resistance, of course, we use that phrase when we describe the flow of water and where it goes. And the issues that I'm going to talk about at this particular dam were related to some instances water flowing or appearing where it shouldn't be, and in at least one instance it not flowing where it should be flowing. So that's part of it, but it's a double meaning with regard to inspections and how that human nature is to follow the path of least resistance. With regard to inspections, sometimes it's that incremental effort, that little bit more that we do that makes the difference in uncovering or discovering issues at a dam. So that's really kind of where I'm coming from. It's more from the inspection perspective. Just some basic lessons learned from this particular project. And really, it's kind of a thought exercise. I'm kind of saying, these are the issues that we discovered at the dam. Now let's back calculate. Let's see how we discovered these issues. Was it through a routine inspection? Were we reviewing some previous information at the dam that caused us to look at this particular thing? Was it communication with the local that had eyes on the ground? What was it that allowed us to discover this issue? And I would advocate it being useful as a thought exercise for those of you who are doing an inspection. Pull out a pad of paper. Sometimes we wait maybe till there's a failure or something large of that nature to have a post-disaster meeting and go back and say, okay, what could we have done differently and so forth. In these instances, it may not be a problem of great magnitude, but you can still learn from it. And so pull out a pad of paper and say, well, okay, I discovered this, and this, and that. How did we discover that? Was it just a routine inspection, or there's some other things that went into it? And you may find some things that you want to fine-tune or tweak about your program. And I think all of us here are about continual improvement. We want to learn from one another. And that would just be my general suggestion. Take a fairly comprehensive look at that dam. There's a certain amount of what I'll call organizational inertia involved with trying to get approval for something a year or 2 years down the road. I want to go back and look at this, or we would like to inspect this. And the incremental benefits of just going out, the incremental benefit of adding that onto your existing contract and saying, you know what, I think we'll just go ahead and do geophysics on this. There's been some seepage issues and so forth. Lump it all together, get it done at once, because you're going to have, in the case of the state government, several people in the approval chain before that happens, and you may not get to do it down the road. You may have other fires to put out and so forth. So that may be very simplistic, but just remembering while I'm at it, while I'm looking at this dam, maybe a few things I'm unsure, maybe I don't even know if we really should look at. Let's go ahead and add those on and get it done, because it's going to cost a whole lot more time and effort sometime later down the road while I've got other things I'm dealing with, other dams that I'm looking at, to get that through the process. Programming, you don't necessarily go back to a site at the same time of year each time to do an alternating pattern. So that said, you could pick up the dam in a dry period versus a wet period, because there may be some elements like we encountered this particular dam you simply wouldn't see or be aware of if it's a certain time of year each year that you go to that region of the state where you look at those particular dams. So consider that the planning of your periodic reviews, because it will provide a full picture of the dam. Another takeaway, periodic inspections, good documentation. We get a little bit short on time, so I'll rush through these a little bit. And this is, I think, clearly understood by most, that the importance of maintaining a good system, not only the inspections, but the documentation back to the office is so important, because it's going to inform your decisions on the second point, that every dam has a story, as Marilyn puts it. You really need to get your head into what has happened in the dam, at the dam in the past, through prior inspection reports before you ever go out there, because it's going to help you to uncover areas that may need special attention or additional review while you're out doing that inspection. So here's your bonus material.